Hey everyone, welcome back to Small Farm Living. Today I am in my greenhouse because it is actually really cold outside, and I thought I would show you a lot of what I like to call funky junk. I am obsessed with old metal things, things that are just unique and I can use them somehow in the garden. Um, I probably have way more than I should have, but it's one of those things where when I see it, it just makes me happy. And I think, wow, I could really do something fun with that. So I'm just going to kind of go over all the things that I have here. And then I'm going to take you outside and show you some more. But let me know down in the comments what you might do with some of this stuff. I will kind of explain to you what I have done or what my thoughts are, but I'd love to hear what you think. So let's get started. So this is probably not super old, but it's a fun old urn. Has some detailing on it and it has some nice metal handles that are all rusty. And the inside, all this stuff is really dirty because I haven't even cleaned it up. But I have put a plant in this before, but the problem is with a lot of these things, and you may have the same problem when you use things like this, but when they're so shallow, once you get into July, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, you're watering 2-3 times a day just to keep the things alive. Unless you put succulents in there, but I don't want succulents in everything. So that is that. This is a old rusty dust pan. Now I actually still use this in the greenhouse because it is so sturdy and I love it, but I will probably hang this up in my garden shed somewhere, add to kind of the rustic decor in there, but still use it. I love it. Now, if anybody has one of those old sieves it sits inside here, and then you have a wooden handle mallet kind of thing that you swirl around and it separates all the seeds from the juice for canning. That's what the base of this is. And I have used this before as a stand for like an old metal strainer, and I will put it in there. I'll line this with either moss or burlap and then plant something in there, and it looks really cute. This cute little teapot. I don't know what obsessed me to buy it other than the fact that it's metal and it just looks really funky and cool. Kind of tiny inside. I don't know. I'd probably just use this more as sitting around as garden art, just to add a little feature here and there. Now this one, actually, the base of it is over here in this box, but it's an old chicken feeder, and so it's huge inside here. But if you were to hang it, you know, unless you were to attach the bottom, let's see if I can get it off without making too much noise. Oh, there we go. So this is the base of the chicken feeder, and there used to be, but they rusted off, little pieces that had it sit in here like this so that it was high enough for the feed to still come out, but they're gone now. So I kind of am looking at this as a separate piece all on its own to plant and do something with. And then this one, like I say, because the structure of it would either have to be buried into the ground a little bit for where I'm at, because yellow jackets are a horrible problem and they would absolutely love to go up in there, build a nest, and drive me crazy later. But the other thought that came to my mind was, even though yellow jackets could potentially get in there, is to do some kind of a cutting on the metal. I don't know if I will, but just a thought. Again, let me know what you think. I have no idea what this was used for. Obviously it looks like a little shelf that would hang on the wall, but there had to have been some kind of wood or something that sat on here. I've hung this on my porch at Christmas time and put some Christmas greens on it. Again, probably something I'll just hang here and there for, you know, why not? And this is an old, I mean, it's probably not super old, but one of those barn lights. So this is the shade, and the wire goes up through there and the light bulb hangs underneath there. Kind of cool if you put it this way, planted something in it, like an old, what did they call those things? Those gazing globes. The stands have normally a little hole in the top of it, and you could set that down in there and plant it. Now this, I love this funky old green color. All there was at this estate sale was the lid and I couldn't pass it up. It was $1. What am I gonna do with it? I don't know, but we'll see. This I thought was really cute because it's a, if I can get that set down. Somebody had cut the welcome out on it, and it is fairly deep, but it's kind of narrow. Hang that on the side. Put some dried flowers or something in there. The only thing I try to be really careful with is when I'm hanging something like these up is because of the rust factor, just whatever I'm hanging it up against, I want to make sure that I'm not going to make the building or the wall rusty to go along with that. I have quite a few of these. I only have a few here in my little stash for you, but these are like wire baskets for freezers, things like that. I have lined these with burlap and moss before and planted them. I also have some of these in my shed that I use to hold various things, nozzles and extra parts for keeping it organized. Let's see if I can get these back in here without everything falling over. This, I don't know why, I love watering cans. If you do too, I get you. Cute planted, cute just as decor. I have seen where people create water features out of these, where they'll drill something in the back and have the water come in, fill up, and then have it tipping slightly so it'll flow out the top. I have a water fountain that I might show you guys later on. It needs to be fixed. The pump has died twice now, so it's kind of getting annoying paying that much money for a new pump. But our problem with that though is the yellow jackets, again, they just hover around it. They're just little creeps. Now I absolutely love this. This is an old picking basket or picking tub. It's metal. It even still has the strap that goes over the back, and the person would wear it on their front like this with the straps over them, their shoulders, so that they were hands-free. They would pick and then put their produce in there. It's actually in really good shape. It doesn't have any holes. I have one outside that I'm going to show you in the video, but it does have a dent. So I'm kind of hesitant to plant this one only because I don't want it to rust out on the bottom by having constant moisture in it all the time. But I also, I mean, I guess I could put it in the house sometimes, but I was trying to think of what I could put in it outside that wouldn't, you know, mess it up. But now one of my sweet friends gave this to me for my birthday one year, and it is actually designed to sit over like a railing on a deck. And I had it up there for quite a while, and I just had two pots, one on each side. The back one I had like a taller grass, so it kind of looked like the chicken was sitting in the grass. But we're gonna have to spruce him up a little bit somehow. And you know, I need to put something on the bottom here because honestly, when you have weird little shapes and gaps like this in the bottom, when you try to put a pot on there and the pot isn't just the perfect size, it, you know, it kind of just wants to teeter off to one side and it looks silly. So. And I found this at a garage sale one year. It's just a cute little old wagon. This has come apart. I might have my husband just weld that back together, but for what I use it for, it really doesn't matter. It has a cute little handle. The wheels don't move, but I've had plants sitting in there before, not actually planted in it, but just actual pots sitting in there on my deck and things. Now, if any of you have watched my garden shed video, which I will link to down in the description, I did show this briefly in the time lapse, but you probably couldn't see it really well. But I love old cans. Love them. And this one, I don't know if you can see all the fun little designs on there. They just had such character back then. You just don't get anything like that anymore. It's plastic or just junk. And then this one is in way worse shape, but I love chickens, so the backside is pretty bad. But oh, looks like a praying mantis nest. But this one it's starting to rust through on the bottom a little bit. This one, that one's still in really good shape. I do have a lot of these. These are just strainers, the old metal strainers. I find these at thrift stores a lot. Anymore though, when you go to thrift stores, I feel like they think they have a chic boutique or an antique store because they charge so dang much for things. And they shouldn't, because yeah, they're a secondhand store. But anyway, I digress. Again, I put moss, burlap, plant it with succulents, something else. And I love these old pans. They're the ones that have the red trim around them. The bottom is kind of warpy a little bit, but it does sit flat. So again, usually get some plants in there somehow. And back here, I won't pull this one all the way out. It's just another metal basket. And I have an obsession with just pots. So I have this pot. I have this one that has the cool, if I can get the handle up, there we go. It has the cool old metal handle. Or not metal handle, sorry, it's a wood handle. The cool old wood handle. And it had already been drilled on the bottom, so whoever I got this from, probably at a garage sale, someone obviously had used it for plants too. And then I found this old bucket at an estate sale, and you can kind of see the bottom is really bulged out. I don't know what on earth happened to it, but it doesn't sit very nice anymore. But I thought, how cute. I think when I got it, I was like, oh, how cute to like hang it from somewhere and have, like, I don't know, a fern or something coming out of it. This pot, oh my gosh, it is so heavy. I don't even know what it's made out of, but it is really heavy. And my husband drilled holes in the bottom of it for me because I actually did have this planted up and on the front porch for quite a while. And just because the volume in here is large enough where it didn't dry out on me and I didn't have to water it, like I said, 3 times a day. And I just have some littler metal, again, no clue, just like them. And this one, I was so excited when I went to an estate sale and I found this because it was sitting like this, and I saw the original like little paper label and it has the original price sticker on it, although I can't read it anymore. No, can't read it. But I thought, oh, cute, and I turned it around and it says somebody stenciled dirt on it. So I was like, well, whatever, still cute. I usually don't pay more than a couple dollars for anything, so it wasn't a big deal. But I can, ooh, sorry about that. This one has the cute black around the rim instead of the white. I don't know if you can see that. But it doesn't have any holes in the bottom, so it's still in really good shape. And then this metal bucket, it actually has kind of started rusting through right there. Somebody had something planted in that. I haven't really done anything with this bucket since I've gotten it, but again, just super cute. I would totally, this one will sit flat, so you could like lift it up a little bit with some stone so it's not sitting on the deck or something, rusting the deck. Or you could hang it. Now, one thing that I do a lot when I had my nursery open, this was several years ago, but I would take these old tackle boxes, or little, this one is metal, and just put dirt and moss in here and plant them with succulents and set them outside, and they look really cute. The only problem is, as you can see, they rust really bad. It is very rusty. So I just stick these again somewhere where it's not going to hurt it if it rusts, and eventually it's just going to deteriorate and I'm going to have to get rid of it anyway, so why not? This is one of those camping, it's got that cute blue speckled look, but it's just a little pitcher for camping. I don't think I've ever had anything in here. I think my granddaughter was filling it with sawdust one day because it looks like there's some in there, but she loves all this stuff too. She loves to play with it. Okay. Now this box right here, I literally bought all this stuff at an estate sale several years ago, and I still haven't taken it out of the box just because of what we've been really busy the last few years, but I still have the tag on here. It shows I paid 25 cents. It's probably backwards to you, sorry. But thought it would be cute. I could hang it, insert something from the back, a pot, or just as art. A lot of stuff you don't really have to put plants in. You can just hang it for decorative purposes. This is an old, I don't know, some kind of a funnel, but if you see the bottom, it's solid. So if any of you out there actually know what this is, let me know, because it has me kind of confused. It has a little thing on it. I don't know. It was $1. So I thought, what the heck? And then this. That's the only problem with metal stuff, is it makes lots of noise when you drop it. But down there. This is a huge funnel. I don't know if you can tell next to my head how big it is, but it actually does have the hole. Again, very dirty. But this one, I don't have the price tag on it anymore. But the sale that I went to, oh my gosh, it was like a funky junk person's haven. They had so much of this stuff, and I had to restrain myself. I had to look this up when I got home because I didn't know what it was. And it looked like, from what I could find, it's some kind of a milking bucket. Could be totally wrong. I could have, you know, the internet could have told me the wrong thing. But it just has this, it is open all the way down. This doesn't belong in there. But, and it has a mesh strainer over the hole in the bottom to filter particles out. So I guess that would kind of make sense that that's what it would be. But if you know, let me know. And it looks like I paid $2 for that. And I thought, gosh, you could, somebody's probably going to go, oh my gosh, it's an antique. Don't ruin it. Sell it. You know, but I don't know what else I would do with it. This is an old oil. I believe it's probably an old oil lamp because it has the filling knob and everything on it. And then it looks like they heavily soldered the bottom. So I think that they probably were converting it into a lamp of some sort. Honestly, I don't know why I grabbed this because I can't think for the life of me what I would do with it, but it was $1, so I was like, what the heck. And lastly back here, oh, sorry about that. Lastly back here is just this old picnic basket. I grew up with one of these. I'm aging myself, but not in the greatest of shape, but it definitely would be cute sitting on a porch. Maybe some of this cleaned up and some plants or something in it. So anyway, that's kind of a sneak peek of some of the junk that I have. And again, we're going to go outside, but I want you to keep in mind when we go outside and are looking at everything, we are in the dead of winter because it is February. And we live on the north side of a hill, and so we don't get tons of sun during the day, and we get a lot of moss growth, and we also live on the upslope of a hill, so all the weed seeds blow up the hill. So every year I am struggling with weeds. But I hope you enjoy taking a look at things that I have incorporated around the property. And again, let me know what you think of some of these things. What would you do with them? I would love to read your comments and try and incorporate some of those things and then show them in a later video for you. So that's all for now. Hope you enjoy, and thanks for hanging out with me today. We'll see you next time.